Hello zombie fans and welcome back to the Z-Man Show. Today we're talking Fear the Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 10 called Close Your Eyes. And let me tell you all, this episode was the one I have been waiting for, just to kind of get back to those roots, the roots of zombies and Walking Dead at its essence, which is basically just survival, some drama filled, some tension, and awesome effects. So, let's start off the episode. So we have Alicia, she's moving on her own, right? And she's left Luciana, she left Strand, all the others. She just wants to be by herself, she's tired of it all. And so she comes across, she left Morgan out in the storm. And so she makes her way and she's found this, dilapidated house sort of like that. The storm winds are still picking up like crazy, and she manages to get inside and has to take out a few walkers in between. But what we really see here is the breakdown of Alicia and like her humanity. I mean, she takes these walkers out with no pause. And also, she also notices that they're a family. I mean, all four of them that were in the family photos and everything else, it's them. And she just tosses them out the back like garbage and takes all their photographs off the walls. I mean, just totally disassociating herself with having a humanistic side. And so, but of course, can't be alone in a home. She starts searching around after she hears somebody moving around. And let me tell you, the effects, everything was just right in this episode. You have the storm going on outside. Kudos to the team. I mean, it looked fully legit. The lighting was amazing in this episode, just bringing that full creepy on vibe, just wondering what's around that next corner, what we love about zombie films just in general. And so she finds a hidden person inside of the home, and it ends up being, of course, Charlie. And so, I remember I talked in an episode before how Charlie was really annoying me and so forth, but you know what? This episode finally gave her some character and some understanding, and also some understanding to Alicia too, because he was starting to really annoy me as well. But this episode finally, it regrounded both of those characters. It was a beautiful episode. Alicia, the hurt from losing her mom, her brother. I mean, Charlie pulled the trigger. She killed her brother. I mean, and directly, indirectly, killed her mom and a lot of the others because of leading Mel and his crew to the stadium. So, I mean, Alicia probably wants nothing more but just to kill Charlie, but she can't do it. She can't find herself to do it. And throughout the episode, there's she's fighting with it. She's fighting. She's even telling Josh, you cannot be here. You have to leave. I will kill you. I don't want to, but I most likely will. I mean, how strong the writing and everything else that went down. And I'm telling you, through their endeavors and what they go down. So after they come to a little bit of a semi-peace agreement, not really, but just enough to where she's like, I'll let you just hang around. They're closing shutters up. They're taking out a few more zombies. Zombies have been alerted to their presence since they made some noise, so now they're stuck in this house and they're doing their thing. But as the storm rages on, Charlie's upstairs. She's kind of putting together these pictures of the family that used to be there. She's trying to humanize herself too, and also trying to forgive herself for the things that she's done. And she sees this walker out on the balcony. I guess it must have been flown up by those crazy 100-mile winds, and it got pierced, impaled all the way through, and he's just hanging up there in the breeze, but he's right there out on this like kind of terrace area on the roof on the second level. And Charlie goes out there at one point and actually almost gets bitten, and Alicia jumps in and actually snatches her away and brings her back inside. And we're just kind of like, well, this is interesting, right? And even Charlie's like, why did you save me? And Alicia, she's like, I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe we'll find out. But as they go along this journey and they start talking to each other, we get to find out a little bit about Charlie's background, her parents. So she was with them at the time when all the craziness was going down, but she actually saw them turn. How tragic for a young child to have to witness their own parents turning and becoming an undead and just wanting nothing but to kill them. So very, very cool, just kind of understanding where she came from. Again, some sympathy, maybe not so much, because we all love Nick and some of the characters, but we start to humanize a little bit with Charlie and her plight, and not to forget, she is a child. And she's just been following along. And I think that's what a lot of grown-ups don't understand, especially parents, fathers, and so forth. They don't understand that they have to set full examples for their children. And if they do not, they're going to follow along with whatever comes along. And what she found was Mel and them. And they taught her how to survive, how to do their way. And that's what she learned. I mean, she probably wasn't a killer. She didn't want to be a killer. But she kind of learned through them, and that became her family. So again, we start seeing both sides of the picture if you're in that style. I really, honestly, I started to like Charlie's character just a bit more. I was just like, wow, just realizing this kid has been through a ton, and we have to understand that a little bit as we watch the show. And Alicia, the growth she went through in this episode, and just wanting nothing more, not to be around anybody, but finally seeing that innocence that's within Charlie and within her friends, and that she needs to get back to them. And at one point, the storm finally picks up so much, they're forced downstairs in the basement, which, by the way, is already flooding. It was flooding before when Alicia saw it. Now it's flooding to an extreme. It's almost halfway full. And some crazy wind knocks a good part of the house in, and it collapses on the staircase, right? So now they're trapped. They're going to drown, pretty much. They got these little small windows down there. They have like an exit out for like a cellar exit, and it's been locked on the outside, so they can't get out that way. They are totally hosed. There is this super dramatic and intense scene where they're both, Alicia gets some crates and puts Charlie on one of them, and they're both talking to each other, and Charlie just says, I cannot end up like one of my parents, please. Some great acting by that young actress. She did a wonderful job. Alicia as well, too. I mean, the two just working off of each other, they fed on that emotion and the strength, and I gotta be honest, I was almost like, you know. I mean, it was just a really great scene, and Charlie wanted her wanted Alicia to pull the trigger and kill her. She's like, do you have the gun? I can't end up like my parents. I can't. I mean, she wants her to kill her. And Alicia has the gun to her head, and I'm just like, I got hand over my mouth. I'm just like, is she gonna actually do this? You know, I mean, maybe we think she's not because she's a child on TV and this, but I mean, she's close. And then Alicia breaks down. She goes, I can't and I won't do it. And luckily, at the final second, Mr. hanging up there in the air, impaled by the branch, I guess the branch finally collapsed, and when he nailed down, he must have hit with such a force in the center of the doors, it broke the chains. And so Alicia manages to get over, push the doors open, and the two escape, unscathed for the most part. Building, obviously, a connection there somewhat. Alicia, I do believe, still hurt and, you know, telling Charlie, you're going to have to live with this. But, you know, maybe through time, you know, Charlie will find a way to try and somehow make up for what she's done. So Alicia confesses that she left Morgan in the storm. She left her friends behind, and she kind of nods to Charlie, says, you know, you're good at finding things, right? And Charlie said yes. So they go out on the road and they try to make their way back. Obviously, Morgan's nowhere to be found, but they do get back to the bridge, that kind of bridge over that creek where, let me see here, there was John and a few of the others that were hanging out in that school bus. And so when they get to the school bus, it's totally turned over. I mean, there's no sign of anybody, just one single walker, and it's not looking good. And Alicia makes this comment, even though things were kind of looking on a lighter note, she makes this comment to Charlie saying, it's not going to get better, it's only going to get worse. And basically, you know, don't hope for much. And I think Charlie doesn't fully agree with her, but she's still trying to, like I said, build some bit of a connection with Alicia. And so the two head off, and we'll see what they do. They did show the next scenes, and it looks like we're going to get to see Morgan and the trials and tribulations he gets to go through. It's getting pretty cool, pretty exciting. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here. I hope you guys are too. I am curious to know from any of you who are watching, and if you've stuck in this long, what would you have done with Charlie? Would you have killed her? I will admit, from my side and just knowing and my bond with my family, whatever, I would have wanted nothing more than to kill the one who murdered my brother, Nick, and pretty much directly, in a way, killed my mother as well, and a lot of my other friends. But yet, as I was watching the episode, I still found myself sympathizing, and I just don't know if I'd want to lose every humanistic part of myself in the apocalypse. But as we all know, as you start to humanize, you leave yourself open pretty much to get murdered or killed or backstabbed and all the above. So anyways, I'd like to hear what you guys would have done. And with all that said, I am giving this episode a 9 out of 10. I really had a lot of fun. I just felt like I was on the edge of my seat, hand over the mouth, just like, what's going to happen next? I was loving the tone of everything that was going on. You got the storm raging in, you got all the cinematic effects, you got the different things going on between the flooding in the basement and things crashing through the home and the zombies trapping them inside, and also inside zombie encounters. You got the awesome relationship that's trying to grow between both Alicia and Charlie in this episode. Both actresses did a phenomenal job. Everything just felt right. I'd like to see if you guys felt the same. And but yeah, that's going to be my score for this one. Watch out that episode 6 of our Dead Nightmare short zombie film series is on its way. It's within weeks. I'm working hard at it, syncing audio and doing all the crazy stuff just to make it to you all. So I hope you get the chance to make it back out. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you watched here, and we will see you next week at the next episode of Fear the Walking Dead. See ya.